It really wasn't until I think I got into my senior year where I was writing an extended thesis. Not that extended, but for a college student, it was probably 50 or so pages, certainly longer than anything that I had written previously. And I was working with an excellent English professor, Professor Dan Donahue, who I had gotten to know over my time as during my time as an undergraduate. And I remember I think, was probably the first person who really pushed me, who was asking some really probing questions about what was my purpose for this sentence or this paragraph, or how was I really starting to think about style and the impact that style could have on the argument that I was trying to make, instead of writing in a more utilitarian fashion. And I was never particularly verbose. But I think that he was really getting me to think about how I could use style in a way that was more intentional. And I remember him just over and over. And looking back, I'm just so grateful for all of the attention he gave to that piece. And I think that he understood that, if I wanted to go on in academia, which at the time I was considering when I was graduating college, to see if I wanted to go on to grad school, I think that he really knew in ways that I certainly didn't as a 20 or 21-year-old, what that was really going to look like. So he spent a lot of time really pushing me in very encouraging and constructive ways, but very intentional ways to improve. I think most of the writing I do now is email. I write a lot of emails in my current role. When I was teaching full-time, I wrote and still actively researching in my field, I wrote in a variety of other capacities there. I write a lot of emails. And as one of the things that I'm learning is that shorter is better. I think some people who've received my emails may wonder why I'm saying that, because they might see that I in fact write very long emails. But that's one thing that I've learned as I've continued to work in administration, is shorter is better. Not because you're not trying to take the subject seriously, not because you're trying to engage, but I find that writing can be more invitational and maybe an opening to a conversation that's going to take place in person. So I start to see writing, rather than trying to get everything out into one email that may or may not be read in the way that I hope that it will, I'm trying to limit that and then turn that into, as I said, more of a conversation, picking up the phone or scheduling a short meeting or just stopping by somebody's office now that we can do that more easily. So I find that combination of writing and in-person conversation to be one of the ways that I think that writing has informed my kind of current work practice. I think personally, one of the ways that I engage with writing privately is as a way to generate ideas, to identify problems, or if I haven't thought something completely through, or if I'm struggling to articulate something, I can find that some private, knowing that it's never going to be seen by anybody, just private free writing, almost like journaling, but about something that might be work related, really can help me unpack. And that's something that I've been doing for years and years and years, long before I started professional work. That when I was still a graduate student, for example, trying to think through a part of a seminar paper or a dissertation chapter that I was writing, that kind of writing, that removing the need to be public, really helped. So I use writing as a way to generate and unpack ideas and kind of untangle tangled up thoughts. So that to me is something that I still do. And I do that in both my personal and my private, my work life.